In this video, I'm going to show you 7 everyday places where your privacy is being invaded without you even realizing it. From the TV in your living room to the phone in your pocket, even down to the loyalty cards you use at the store, your personal life is being tracked, monitored, and shared. And yes, even your medical records aren't as private as you might think. I know that as older adults, you've lived through a time when home felt safe and private, and your thoughts were truly your own. But today, things have changed. Technology has brought us convenience, but it has also opened doors for companies, and sometimes even strangers, to peek into parts of your life that should remain personal. That's why this video is so important. I'm going to walk you step by step through the hidden risks and, more importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. 1. Your smart TV. Think back to the old days when a television was just a big box with knobs, antennas, and maybe a few fuzzy channels. You turned it on, you turned it off, and that was the end of it. No one worried about being watched while they enjoyed their favorite show. But today's televisions are completely different. A smart TV is really more like a computer with a giant screen, and while it offers us convenience, like streaming movies, watching YouTube, or even chatting with family, it also quietly keeps track of what we do. Every time you watch a show, pause a movie, or even flip through channels, your smart TV is recording those habits. It builds a profile of your likes and dislikes, which companies then use to target you with ads. At first, that might not sound too harmful. But the truth is, it goes much deeper. Some smart TVs have microphones and even tiny cameras built into them. That means the very device sitting in your living room could, in some cases, be listening to your conversations or watching your movements, even when you don't realize it. Imagine sitting with a loved one, talking about your health or your finances, and having that private conversation captured and stored somewhere far away. It feels like your safe space isn't really safe anymore. But here's the good news, you're not helpless. You can go into your TV's settings and turn off the microphone and camera. You can even place a small piece of tape over the camera lens to make sure it can't see you. Some people choose to avoid the built-in apps altogether and use small devices like Roku or Fire Stick instead, which are often easier to control for privacy. 2. Smartphone apps. For many older adults, the smartphone has become more than just a gadget, it's a lifeline. You use it to call your children or grandchildren, to check the weather before heading out, to keep reminders for your medicine, or maybe even to play a simple game when you're bored. It feels like such a helpful companion, always within reach. But here's the part most people don't realize, many of the apps you download are quietly taking things from you. They don't steal your wallet, but they steal something just as valuable, your personal information. Think about it. A flashlight app asking for your location. A puzzle game asking to access your microphone. A simple weather app asking to see your contacts. Do these things make sense? Of course not. These apps don't need that information to work. What they really want is your data, where you live, who you talk to, what you search for, even what you say near your phone. This data is then sold to advertisers or, worse, falls into the hands of scammers who know how to use it against you. Maybe you've had this happen already, you mention a new product to a friend, and suddenly you start seeing ads for that exact thing on your phone. That's not magic. That's apps listening and tracking you. And for seniors especially, this can be dangerous. Scammers use that data to create very convincing traps, fake health products, miracle cures, or phony investment opportunities designed to cheat you out of your hard-earned money. But you don't have to sit back and let it happen. You can protect yourself. Before downloading any app, check what permissions it asks for. If it doesn't make sense, don't allow it. Stick to apps from trusted companies, and delete the ones you don't use anymore. Go into your phone settings and turn off unnecessary permissions, like location tracking or microphone access, for apps that don't need them. 3. Public security cameras. The moment you step outside your home in the United States, chances are you're already being watched. Cameras are everywhere, on street corners, in grocery stores, in banks, outside pharmacies, even in the quiet corners of your local park. At first, many people believe these cameras are just there for safety, to stop shoplifters or catch criminals. And yes, that's part of it. But today's cameras are far more advanced than you might imagine. They don't just record blurry images, they recognize faces, track movements, and sometimes even connect that information to databases. For seniors, this can feel especially unsettling. You've spent your whole life enjoying the freedom to move around without anyone keeping tabs on you. But now, every trip to the drugstore, every walk to the coffee shop, or even a simple stroll through your neighborhood could be tracked, stored, and analyzed. What you buy, where you go, and even who you meet might be pieced together into a picture of your private life. That's not freedom, that's surveillance. And it's not just the government that uses these systems. Many private companies own these cameras too, and they may share the data with advertisers. Imagine buying medicine at a pharmacy and later seeing ads on your phone for related products. That's not coincidence, that's your personal life being turned into business. On top of that, facial recognition technology isn't always accurate. It has been known to make mistakes, sometimes misidentifying people, especially older adults and minorities, which can create unfair situations. What can you do? First, be aware. Notice where cameras are placed, above doors, in parking lots, on traffic poles. Second, protect yourself in simple ways. Wearing sunglasses, a wide-brim hat, or even a scarf in busy areas can make it harder for facial recognition systems to get a clear read. And most importantly, use your voice. Ask businesses what their camera policies are. Support groups that fight for privacy rights. Even small actions matter. 4. Home assistants. Many older adults have welcomed devices like Amazon's Alexa, Google Home, or Apple's Siri into their houses. These gadgets seem like little helpers. You can ask them to play music, set a timer for your cooking, remind you to take your medication, or even call a loved one. For seniors who value independence, they can feel like a blessing. But here's what most people don't realize: these helpers are also listeners, and they don't always stop listening when you think they do. These devices are designed to respond to wake words like Alexa or Hey Google. But studies have shown they sometimes pick up conversations even when you haven't spoken the magic word. That means your private talks, about your health, your money, or even a family disagreement, can accidentally be recorded. And what happens to those recordings? In some cases, they are stored in the cloud. In the past, reports revealed that real people, working for these companies, were actually listening to snippets of private conversations to improve the technology. Imagine that, strangers hearing parts of your life that you never meant to share. It doesn't stop there. These assistants often connect to other devices in your home, doorbells, thermostats, even refrigerators. Together, they build a picture of your daily life. When you wake up, when you leave the house, when you eat dinner, and when you go to bed. All of that information is valuable to companies, and potentially dangerous if it ever falls into the wrong hands. Hackers have even been able to break into poorly secured devices, turning them into open windows into people's homes. But you are not powerless. If you own one of these assistants, look for the mute button and use it when you don't need the device. Some people even unplug them during private conversations or when they leave the house. Check the privacy settings in the companion app and delete recordings regularly. If you only need reminders or music, consider simple alternatives: a kitchen timer, a radio, or even a good old-fashioned alarm clock. 5. Online searches. Every time you sit down at your computer, tablet, or phone and type a question into Google or Bing, it feels private, just between you and the screen. Maybe you're searching for the best vitamins for arthritis, ways to save money in retirement, or even how to handle loneliness. These are personal questions, sometimes even worries that you wouldn't share with anyone else. But here's the truth, your searches are not private at all. They are tracked, stored, and often sold to companies you've never heard of. Search engines don't just record what you type. They track how long you pause on a link, which websites you click, and how far you scroll down the page. All of this creates a digital diary of your life. For older adults, this can be especially risky. A single search about memory loss or diabetes might trigger a flood of ads for expensive supplements or miracle cures, many of them scams designed to take advantage of seniors. The worst part? This data is often shared with third-party companies called data brokers. Once your information is in their hands, it can be sold and resold, creating a permanent record that follows you everywhere. It can feel unsettling to know that your private thoughts are being treated like business. But there are ways to protect yourself. Instead of using the big search engines, try privacy-focused ones like DuckDuckGo or StartPage. They don't track your searches or build profiles about you. You can also clear your search history regularly and use your browser's private or incognito mode. For even stronger protection, a VPN, virtual private network, can hide your internet address, making it harder for anyone to follow your online activity. Most importantly, be cautious about the ads and links you click. If something looks too good to be true, like a miracle health cure, it probably is. Stick to trusted websites like Mayo Clinic, AARP, or government sites when researching sensitive topics. 6. Your loyalty cards. Almost every grocery store, pharmacy, or retail shop offers loyalty cards or reward programs. They promise discounts, coupons, and special deals, something especially attractive when you're trying to save money in retirement. But behind the scenes, these cards aren't just about giving you a bargain. They're about collecting detailed information on your shopping habits. Every time you scan that card at checkout, the store records exactly what you buy, how often you buy it, and even the time of day you usually shop. Over time, this builds a very personal profile of your life. For example, if you regularly purchase medications or certain foods, companies can guess your health conditions. If you switch from steak to cheaper cuts of meat, they might assume you're on a tighter budget. Even something as simple as buying greeting cards can reveal your family patterns, birthdays, anniversaries, or holidays you celebrate. This information doesn't just stay with the store. It's often shared with marketing companies, data brokers, and sometimes even sold to third parties. That's why you may notice ads or mailers that feel uncomfortably specific, because companies already know what's in your pantry or medicine cabinet. And for seniors, this can open the door to targeted scams, such as special offers for unproven supplements or financial traps disguised as discounts. So, what can you do? First, think twice before signing up for every loyalty card offered. If you already use them, limit your participation, use them only for items that don't reveal too much about your personal life. Some people choose to pay in cash without scanning a card for sensitive purchases like health products or medications. And remember, those free rewards aren't really free. You're paying with your data. 7. Your medical records. For many seniors in the US, doctor visits and prescription refills are a regular part of life. You trust your healthcare providers to keep your personal information safe. After all, these records include your most private details, your medical history, test results, medications, and even family health patterns. But the reality is that your medical records aren't always as private as you may believe. Hospitals, clinics, pharmacies, and insurance companies often share health data, sometimes legally under agreements, and sometimes through third-party systems. For example, electronic health record systems are designed to make it easier for doctors to coordinate care, but they can also give outside organizations access to your sensitive information. In some cases, Anonymized data is sold to research groups or pharmaceutical companies. While that might sound harmless, it doesn't always stay truly anonymous. Patterns can reveal who you are. Insurance companies also keep a close eye on your records. They can use your health history to make decisions about coverage, premiums, or the services they'll approve. Even pharmacies analyze your prescriptions. That's why you may notice targeted ads for related medications or supplements, because your buying habits signal certain conditions. For seniors, this can feel especially invasive. Imagine your struggles with memory loss, diabetes, or heart disease being turned into a business opportunity for someone else. Worse, if hackers breach these medical databases, as has happened in recent years, your most private information could end up in the wrong hands. How can you protect yourself? Always ask your doctor or pharmacist how your information is shared and who has access. Sign up for patient portals only if you're comfortable, and use strong passwords to protect them. Be cautious about health-related apps that link to your medical data. And whenever possible, request written privacy policies to understand exactly where your information goes. Now we've uncovered 7 everyday places where your privacy is quietly slipping away: your smart TV, the apps on your smartphone, the security cameras in public spaces, the home assistants in your living room, your online searches, the loyalty cards at your favorite stores, and even your medical records. Each of these might look harmless, just part of modern life, but together they create a picture of you that can be tracked, sold, and sometimes misused. Remember, your privacy isn't just about keeping secrets. It's about dignity. It's about independence. And most of all, it's about freedom, the freedom to decide what you share and what you keep to yourself. That freedom is worth protecting. So let me ask you, after hearing all 7 points, what's the first change you'll make today to protect your privacy? Maybe you'll cover your TV's camera, maybe you'll try a new search engine, or maybe you'll ask your doctor how your records are stored. Share it in the comments below, because your story might encourage another senior to do the same. You've worked too hard in life to let strangers decide how your story is told. Take these steps, protect your privacy, and hold on to the peace and freedom you've earned.